Welcome students, I am Nafisa, your social science teacher. In today's video, we will discuss the topic classification of soils in detail. Before we start today's topic, let's discuss the points we have learned so far. First, we have started with definition of resource, followed by classification of resources, and then we have discussed about sustainable development, Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, Agenda 21. Then we discussed why resource planning is important in India, followed by steps for resource planning and conservation of resources, and Gandhiji's view on conservation of resources. With this, we have completed briefly about resources. Then we have discussed in detail about land resources, where we have discussed the relief features in India, the segregation of relief features in India, and the way we are utilizing the land with the help of two pie diagrams which are being done in the year 1960, and present book has 2012 and 13 report, followed by the reasons for land degradation and measures to overcome the land degradation. Then last video we have discussed about soil as a resource, in what way soil acts as a resource, and the formation of soil, and then classification of soil we have discussed it with the help of India map. Today's video we will discuss with textbook matter reading here in detail. Let's start today's class. Types of soils. Soils are classified into 6 types: alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soil, arid soil, laterite soil, and forest soil. First, let us start with alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is the most fertile and widespread soil found in India. It is formed due to the deposition of fine silt called alluvium by the rivers. It consists of sand, silt, and clay, and it's been divided into Khadar and Bangar also. And it's found in the states of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, most probably northern plains, Gujarat plains, and coastal plains. And the main crops of alluvial soil are sugarcane, rice, which is also known as paddy, wheat, and pulses. As we go with the textbook, even here they have given the same point. It is the most widely spread and important crop, and it has been deposited by, especially in the northern plains, it's been deposited by 3 important Himalayan river systems, that Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. And we can find these soils in Rajasthan, extended up to Rajasthan and Gujarat also. It is also found in eastern coastal plains, particularly near the deltas of rivers Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Let's have a look at this with the help of a map. As you can see in the India map, major rivers like Indus, which has its own tributaries, Satluj, Ravi, Beas, all these rivers, along with the river Brahmaputra, which starts and enters to the east of India into its northeastern states into India. So river Brahmaputra, the same time Gangotri Glacier, Ganga River, and its tributaries, as you have studied in 9th class. So all these rivers along with them carry the silt leading to the formation of northern plains, and you can see the extension till through Gujarat and Rajasthan and Gujarat also. In the same way, we can find near the eastern coastal plain region also, especially because of the rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. These rivers, when they flow, they carry the sediments and deposit here, leading to the formation of alluvial soil in this region. This alluvial soil consists of various proportions of sand, silt, and clay. As we move towards the river valley, these soil particles appear little big in size, like conchers. Okay, if you observe the flow of water from the mountains, our river flows from the origin of its place, especially mountains and hilly region, to the place of its destination, mouth of the river, suppose your oceanic body. Okay. So from the origin place till here, it goes through lot many relief features again. So here we are discussing about those relief features, and everywhere relief feature is not same. Some places we can find rocky terrain, somewhat big rocks. Some place we find some small particles or sandy particles. Some places we find plantation when the river water bodies are flowing. So based on that, it's been they are classified. Such soils are more common in the Piedmont plains, such as Dewars, Coes, and Terrai. Let's discuss about it. Most probably Piedmont region. Piedmont region in the sense the foothill of the foothills we can call it as. Suppose if it is a mountain area, the foothill of this region is referred to as Piedmont region. And in this region, some places we have rocky, somewhat bigger rocky terrains, and we have different names for it. As you can see in the picture here, like Himalaya source, many rivers sources Himalayas, no. So as you look at the from Himalayas, Bhangar region in the sense where we can find this rocky area. When it comes to Terrai, where we can find the vegetation type. And Dewars, especially northeastern region, we call it as Dewars. And we have two more types of soil. Alluvial soil has been classified into two types. One is Khadar, another one is Bhangar. Khadar in the sense newly formed alluvial soil. Whenever the river flows, those sediments, when they form near the water body, okay, this is water body, and here you can find the alluvial sediments being formed. It is a new soil and it's very fertile soil. Whereas Bhangar is the old alluvial soil. Clear? So alluvial soil has been classified into two types, Khadar and Bhangar. Let's study this with the help of a textbook. So as we can see here, on the basis of components, the soils are classified into Dewars, Choice and Terrai. Same way, on the basis of age, also alluvial soil is been classified as Bhangar and Khadar. Old alluvial soil is known as Bhangar and new alluvial soil is known as Khadar. The Bhangar soil higher concentration of conker nodules, whereas compared to Khadar, and more fine particles and fertile soil can be found in Khadar. Khadar is more fertile compared to Bhangar. So this can be asked further distinguish. You may get a question here like distinguish between Khadar and Bhangar. Then you have to mention this point. Okay, alluvial soils as a whole very fertile. Mostly these soils contain adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric and lime, which makes the soil very fertile. And the crops grown here in this type of soil are sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulse crops. Due to its high fertility, these regions are intensely cultivated and densely populated. As we can see, lot of cultivation is done in these areas, and as more occupation, more job opportunities, then more population. So these areas are mostly populated, more populated areas also, densely populated areas. Soils in the drier areas are more alkaline and can be productive after proper treatment and irrigation. As you can see in the map here, these are the northern plains areas, especially Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. These are the mostly densely populated places in India. Let's have a look at second type of soil, which is black soil. And this black soil is also known as Reger soil or black cotton soil also, because it is ideal for growing cotton. It is believed that the climatic condition along with parent rock material are the important factors for the formation of the black soil. Most probably, as we have discussed in the previous video, black soil is been formed by the lava flow. It is made up of lava flow, and this type of soil is found near the Deccan Trap region, spread mostly in the northwest Deccan Plateau region. Let's have a look in the map. Like places like in the plateau, places like Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa Plateau region, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and it extends up to southeast towards southeast direction of Godavari and Krishna valleys also. As they have said in the textbook, like Saurashtra, Maharashtra, this region is known as Malwa Plateau, and it is extending up to Godavari and Krishna valley areas also, and Chhattisgarh also. As you can see here, these are extremely fine. Black soil is made up of extremely fine clayey material, and it is well known for holding the moisture. Like if suppose rainfall season, you can find it wet for a long period of time. At the same time, during summers, you can find cracks in the soil also. In addition, they are rich in soil nutrients such as calcium carbonate, magnesium, potassium, lime, which makes the soil fertile for the growth of cotton. These soil generally they are poor in phosphoric content. They develop deep cracks during hot weather season, which helps for the proper aeration of the soil. These soils are sticky when wet and difficult to work on unless tilled immediately after the first shower or during the pre-monsoon period. As you can see in the picture here, this soil, you can see many cracks in between, which allows the aeration of the soil. And especially during monsoon season, immediately after the first shower, first rainfall, farmers need to till this land, otherwise it becomes so wet that it is difficult for them to move on. The main crops grown in this region are sugarcane, cotton, tobacco, and cereals. Let's have a look at another type of soil known as red and yellow soil. And this red and yellow soil, this soil develops on crystalline igneous rocks in the areas of low rainfall on the eastern and southern part of the Deccan Plateau. In the last video, I have said that especially southern plateau is the oldest landform, which consists of igneous rocks, and lava explosion led to the formation of black soil, and other areas wherever we have found mineral content, there we can find red and yellow soil. And especially this soil is yellow, found in the parts of Orissa, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain, along with the Piedmont zone of the western Ghats. This soil develops a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rock. It looks yellow when it occurs in a hydrated form. As you can see in the map, red and yellow soil found especially in the Deccan Plateau region, Chhattisgarh region, and even in the south east region and northeast region, we can find the red and yellow soil. The major crops grown in this region are potato, rice, paddy, tobacco, and peanuts. Let's have a look at another important soil, laterite soil. It is derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. The laterite soil develops in the areas with high temperature and heavy rainfall. This is formed due to the intense leaching. Due to heavy rain, humus content is very low here. The humus content is low in this soil due to heavy rainfall, and because of that, what happens, the microorganisms, particularly decomposers like bacteria, they get destroyed due to high temperature. Laterite soil is suitable for cultivation with adequate doses of manures and fertilizers. Even in this soil also, though less humus, we can do cultivation with the help of manures and fertilizers. So and this type of soil we can find in the regions like Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and the hilly areas of Orissa and Assam. After adopting appropriate soil conservation techniques, particularly hilly areas like Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, this soil is very useful for growing the crops like tea and coffee. Laterite soil in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala are more suitable for the crops like cashew nuts. Let's have a look in the map. As shown in the map, you can find laterite soil especially in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala regions. At the same time, some places near Orissa here, and Meghalaya and Assam regions here. As we can see in the map, the western part of India, we can find the desert, which is also known as Thar Desert, and in this desert we find arid soil due to high temperature and dry region. It's very dry and very less rainfall. Here the water is very less, so very difficult for the vegetation to grow here. Even then, vegetation can be done with the help of proper irrigation methods. Let's see in the textbook. Arid soil, they range from red to brown in color, and they are generally sandy in nature and saline in texture. This soil, due to high temperature, is here salt content is very high, and common salt is evaporated. Especially Kutch region, we can find this common salt is obtained by evaporating the water. Due to dry climate and high temperature, evaporation is very faster. Soil cannot hold the moisture, and it lacks humus and moisture. Whereas in some places, due to the conker, means some conker nodules, because of the conker nodules, what happens? The soil cannot absorb the water. Then water evaporates soon. Surface water evaporates soon due to continuous heating. Okay. So then the conker layer formations in the bottom horizons restricts infiltration of water. Suppose if it is normal soil, if a normal like clay soil or any type of soil, if rainfall happens, what happens? Soil absorbs the water and water goes to underground. It acts as an infiltration. But when it comes to especially arid soil, due to sand texture, it cannot hold soil. At the same time, conker modules, rocky structure, rocks also cannot hold the moisture. Then water will be on the surface itself, and it evaporates soon as soon as the rainfall is done. Within 5 or 10 minutes, it evaporates. So we cannot find water in desert area also. But now, due to the latest technologies, Indira Gandhi Canal, and latest irrigation technologies like dry irrigation, now vegetation means cropping is going on in these areas. Cultivation also can be done, especially in the case of western Rajasthan, with proper irrigation facilities. So this arid soil can be found in the regions of Gujarat and Rajasthan, and the plant crops grown here found here are date palm and cactus. Now last type of soil known as forest soil, and it is also called as mountain soil also, because most probably it is found in the mountainous areas, are found in the hilly and mountainous areas where sufficient rainforests are available, and the soil texture varies according to the mountain environment wherever they are found. Suppose mountains are too high, then the like if you look at Himalayan region, so too cool region, so there we can find coniferous trees in that way. Okay, if it is low lying areas where good temperature, good rainfall, we can find evergreen plants there. Okay, they are loamy and silty in here as they are giving loamy and silty in valley sides, and coarse grained in the upper slopes. In the snow-covered areas of Himalayas, these soils experience denudation and are acidic with low humus content. Denudation in the sense it leads to soil erosion. In the high areas, soil erosion goes on because of the water flow. Whenever water flows, or whenever glaciers, when they melt, so soil also goes with that, leading to soil erosion or denudation of the soil. The soils found in the lower parts of the valleys, particularly on the river terraces, alluvial soil is fertile. So as we have said, and the river flows down from the top. When it comes down, it carries the sediments along with them. So we cannot find much fertile soil in the upper areas. But as it comes down near the foothills, it leads to the decomposition of the soil. Means it leads to the accumulation of the soil which it has been carried, leading to formation of alluvial soil. The main crops grown in this region are tea, coffee, spices and tropical fruits. As we can see in the map here, especially mountain soil is found in the north region of India, especially where Himalayan mountains can be found, like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and north part of Arunachal Pradesh. In these places we can find the forest soil. And with this we have completed all the 6 major types of soil with the help of the map and the matter given in the textbook. Hope you have understood classification of soil in detail. Next video we will cover the topic soil conservation. So first we will discuss what is soil erosion, followed by the measures for soil conservation. If you have any doubts, you can message me. Take care. Bye.